Hello, let's have a look at the Case Medium Stalkman. These are gorgeous little knives, handmade in the USA, using caution for the handles, nickel silver bolsters, highly mirror polished blades, pinned construction. These are just gorgeous, functional, collectible knives. As I said, this is a Stalkman, so it has 3 blades, a clip point, a sheep's foot, and a spear point. Now, what I like to do with how I like to use these knives is each blade sort of does its own thing. So I think that the clip point, or the longer blade, the main blade, is good for cutting fruit like apples, peeling oranges. The sheep's foot blade would be good for whittling. I have used this for whittling several times. And the spear point is also good for whittling, but it's more of a sort of general purpose blade, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Of course, you could use this for almost anything you want. I mean, you could use this to skin an animal if you want, take it camping, whatever. That's up to you. But I think these are just gorgeous knives. And because they're so gorgeous, I'm pretty afraid to carry them. Although these do fit reasonably well in a jean pocket. The small watch pocket of your jeans. So this is really maybe not a tiny knife, but it is a pretty small one. And in my view, these are, well, to me anyway, more desirable than your modern knives. Even like the Spyderco. I much rather have something like this in my pocket than those modern knives. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely do love modern knives. But I think in countries with restrictive knife laws and where knives are kind of frowned upon, something like this is probably a better option. Now, if you're living in America or some other country where knives aren't a problem, well, good for you. But unfortunately, a lot of us in some European countries, especially the UK, the government and a lot of the people seem to hate knives and they freak out with the idea of knives. So this, in my view, this would make a good carry option. Now, while something like the Spyderco UKPK, the Boker Plus, XS, etc., those are legal to carry in most countries, knives like that are going to scare people. Something like this, maybe not so much. But these knives are just really beautiful, really functional, really collectible. And they're just a joy to have. And something like this is something you want to pass down the family. Spyderco UKPK, maybe not so much. Like I said, they definitely have their place. And they're definitely well made. But I don't think you could really compare it to something like this. And look at the craftsmanship on that. This is all made by hand. Sure, there are a few spaces here and there, a few imperfections, but for a handmade knife made in the USA, you know, this knife has actually been through a cutler's hands. A cutler had to grind this knife, had to polish it and all the rest. I think that's something special. Especially in this day and age where everything's done automatically by machines. I mean, as your Spydercos or anything like that, are they made by hand? Maybe some of them are, but I think most of them are mass produced. I mean, these are kind of mass produced, I suppose, but at least they're done by hand, by a cutler. I'm just sort of sitting here enjoying this knife as I speak, because there's just, like I said, these are just lovely little knives. Now, if you are going to get a knife like this, might I suggest that you also get some sort of knife slip. I've actually got one right here. I've actually got my Case Sodbuster in it. Something like this would be worthwhile getting to keep that knife nice and protected, because if you get some scratches on a knife like this, you're going to be upset. Now, speaking of scratches, because this is a Stalkman pattern, there is a little bit of blade rub, which is unfortunate. You can see here, right there. This will focus. It's just a little bit. It's actually a lot easier to see it off camera. The camera isn't really picking it up, but it's still there and it's very irritating. Now, on that note, how much does this knife cost? Well, I can't remember exactly. Somewhere between £50 and £60 in the UK. I got this one off Heine Haynes, and I think I paid about 55, but that was about 3 or so years ago. Right now, this knife costs about 60 quid off Heine Haynes. Now, if you like the style of these knives, you like the way they look, but you can't justify that price, especially for a little slip joint, well, Rough Rider might be an option for you. But I do warn you, Rough Rider are nowhere near as nice as these. Rough Rider definitely has their place. I mean, you can get a similar pattern to this. You can get a Rough Rider Stalkman for probably about less than £15, so you won't care if it gets scratched or damaged or beat up or even lost. But the quality just isn't quite there. The blade spring, the springs are a bit too stiff. They're a bit of a nail breaker. I mean, the one Rough Rider, no, I've got two Rough Riders, but one of the Rough Riders that I do have is a bit of a nail breaker. So if it's a nail breaker, I think it's also a bit of a deal breaker, because, well, why would I want to carry a knife that's just going to, well, I'm going to get hurt on every time I want to use it, which is why I think something like this is far better. Plus, it's made in the USA, opposed to Rough Riders, which is made in China. Is there anything wrong with Chinese knives? Yes and no. The quality usually isn't quite there as much. There is exceptions. Some knives coming out of China are okay. But personally, I'd rather something that's made in the USA or made in England or made in somewhere in Europe, but that's just me. Nothing wrong with the Chinese knives, really. Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that. I've went on enough. Thank you for watching.